Yes, now everyone, how's it going? Luke here, and today we are doing an XDefiant weapons tier list. I'm going to be ranking all the guns in XDefiant based on how I feel about them. So the first gun we have is the ACR. I'm just going to put it straight in here. There's no words. It's unbeatable. Very good close range for an assault rifle. Mid-range, it's unbeatable. Long range, it's also very good. It's got no recoil. The iron sights are actually all right, but if you want even better aim, you go for a reflex. Beats out any other assault rifle, and the only thing it could lose against is snipers, really. It's insane how good this thing is. I can't believe snipers and some assault rifles got buffed and nerfed, and the ACR was never touched. It was never touched. I couldn't believe it. Hopefully they do touch it at some point. Pause. I want them to nerf it a little bit, reduce the damage, give it more recoil, do something, because it's so boring to have bad players use this gun and get crazy kills with it, and then good players use it and become unstoppable. It's unfair, to be honest. It really is unfair, and that's why it's going in the boring meta tier. Yes, I would put it up here. If I was just doing this based on the gun, I'd put it in S. I'd even put it in S+. But it's going in boring meta tier because it is boring meta. Now, the next gun on my list is a very similar gun to the ACR, actually. It's the AK-47. I'm going to put this in S tier. Some people would have a case to also put it in boring meta as well. But I think just because it's worse than the ACR, it has to go into S. Like the ACR, it's good range, good short range, good damage. Iron sights are fantastic, by the way, because it's an AK. The recoil is almost non-existent, to be honest, and if you put on like some grips and stuff, it's even better. But it is just the ACR but worse. It can't go in boring meta because it's worse than the ACR. I'm going to put it in this. I really like using the gun. Nothing bad to say about this gun, really. So the next gun on our list is the M4A1, a classic staple of any shooter game ever. Every single shooter game should have an M4, and this one's no different. It's going straight into the A tier. It's a solid starter gun. Mid-range, good. Close range, it's kind of shit. Long range, it's also not great, but it's fairly strong. When I first picked up the game, I didn't quite like it, but it kind of grew on me, the M4, so I've started using it a bit more now. I've got some good attachments for it, and it feels quite nice to use, actually. I think maybe it's my second favorite AR, just below the AK, to be honest. But it's a solid all-rounder gun. You can't really go wrong with the M4, and that's why it's in the A tier. Now we have the newly buffed MDR. I didn't use this before the buff. I just heard that it was a pea shooter and it was useless, so I never used it. But it got buffed, and to be honest, I still don't like it. I hate it. The recoil is insane. The range isn't brilliant. The damage is still not great. Sure, it's better than it was, but I still don't think it's that good. But it's not terrible. You can use it, and you can probably get used to its recoil and its different feeling to other assault rifles like the M4 and the AK, but it is nowhere near them at all. I'm debating which one to put it in, to be honest. I'm going to put it in B for now. Things can change, but I'm going to put it in B. Now, Season 1 added an assault rifle, the LVOAC. I've only used it a few times, and the clip you're seeing now is actually me using it for the first time, so it has no attachments at all. And to be honest, it didn't feel that great. The damage up close is good. The damage on mid-range is good. Damage long range is terrible. Recoil, I'm not used to it yet. The iron sights are all right, but I'd prefer a reflex. But I just don't think it can compare to the M4 and the AK still. I really don't. Maybe with attachments it can get better. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh and I didn't give it time to get some better attachments and see what it really can do at its full potential. I just don't think that this gun is very good. Some people really love it. Some people swear by this gun and say it's meta. I don't personally see that. If you have any complaints, put them in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion, but I'm putting the LVOAC, although it's not in this tier list, I'm putting it in B tier with the MDR as well. I don't think it's better than the M4. I don't think it's better than the AK, and it's certainly not better than the ACR. Now, the last assault rifle on our list is the M16A4. I absolutely hate burst guns. The most iconic one that I can remember is the M16 and the, what was it called now? The M8A1, that 4 burst from Black Ops 2. Hated that. That sniper burst laser rifle in Black Ops 3. Hated that. I just cannot stand burst guns at all, and I'm putting it in C, to be honest. I'm putting it straight here. Now, I know it's actually good. I know it's probably about A tier if you're just doing it on how good the gun is. I can't stand it. So I'm putting it in C. The clip you're seeing right now is also me using this gun for the first time as well. Just don't like burst guns. I don't know what it is about them. I just don't know what it is, but I just don't like burst guns. So the M16 is going in C. It might be a bit harsh. The gun's pretty good. Some people might not like it. Don't care. I'm putting it in C. And the next gun on our list is my personal favorite, and that is the MP5. Now, if anyone played XDefiant in the preseason, you'll know the MP5 was almost useless. This thing had no range, no damage. It was a pea shooter, but it got buffed in season 1. So now it's very good, actually. Personally, I think it can compete with the other SMGs on this list. Is my bias going to put it straight up into the S tier? Probably not. It's going in the A tier. This gun is solid now. I think if we were doing this in pre-season, this thing's C. Useless. But it got buffed. So I'm putting it into the A tier. I think that's pretty kind of it. Like I said, it's my personal favorite. I love this thing now. I'm sure we're all sick of seeing this gun by now. It's the MP7. It's got to go in boring meta. It really has. I think everyone and their mum uses this gun almost every other game. You'll see these two guns in 90% of your games every single time. It's boring. This gun has high damage, high fire rate, high range for an SMG. 40 bullets compared to like 30 in every other gun. It's bonkers. This thing is just crazy. It's unbeatable, and that's why it's going in boring meta, because I'm sick of seeing it. It's another gun that also needs nerfing as well. Another personal favorite SMG of mine, the P90. This one's hard to do. I almost want to say these are now the same, P90 and the MP5. I'm struggling to put this on the same tier as the MP5 because I feel like I got a lot of success with the P90 before season 1. So I'm going to be quite generous to the P90 and I'm going to put it in the S tier because actually the fact that this thing has 50 bullets, you can put fast mag on it. It's got no recoil. Fire rate is insane. Damage is insane. The iron sight is actually quite good. You don't even need a reflex. I think it's got to go into the S tier. I think it's the only right thing for this SMG, to be honest. It is probably better than the MP5. I think my bias towards the MP5 is kind of swaying it, but I'm sticking with it and I'm putting the P90 in S tier. Now, another SMG that's quite popular actually is the Vector. I don't see how people use this thing. I genuinely don't. Up close, it probably beats the MP7. Let's say 2 meters away, no chance. In the short range, the Vector is amazing, unbeatable. Mid range, you may as well not use it. Long range, just don't even try, there's no point. But the damage is kind of good when you are up close, and if you're on a small map like Echelon, there's no better gun really. I'm going to put it in A with MP5, but I'm going to also move the MP5 down. And now we're onto the shotguns. These are terrible. I don't know what XDefiant have done with shotguns, but they do not work. I swear to God, every single one of them, there's only 3, every single one of them is terrible. They have no range. I know they're shotguns. They don't have any range at all. Even with the choke, they don't have any range. The long barrel, they don't have any range. It's insane. I don't get how they've screwed it up so much. AA-12, I mean, this thing is absolutely horrendous. People like Blame Truth love this thing. Play like a rat, play it like using this gun. I'm not even going to debate with anyone about this. It absolutely sucks. I got it to level 200 actually, and it was the worst thing in my life. I've never done anything. I've never experienced anything as bad as that. It was terrible. The M870 is probably the strongest of the 3 shotguns, but even then, probably my favorite shotgun if I had to pick a favorite. Not that I have one, but if I had to pick one, I would pick the M870, probably. But it's still going to beat it. It's terrible. Low damage, no range. Useless, really. Useless. And then the double barrel, that's also going to go into B tier. People would probably make an argument to put this in A tier. I don't know how you can. It's got 2 bullets. I know it's a double barrel. It's got 2 bullets. It's got to be B tier. It's got to be. I don't like this thing at all. I hate it. Now we're on to the LMGs. M249, I'm going to put this in the C tier. Actually, no, I'm putting it in the B tier. I genuinely don't know how to use this thing. I've tried. I just feel like it's not doing enough damage for an LMG. It's so weird. I don't get what it is, but it feels wrong. It does no damage. The recoil's all right. The ammo, obviously, it's an LMG, so it has like 100. Can shoot forever, but I just don't like this thing compared to the M60 and the RPK. They just outshine it completely. So it's definitely the worst LMG of the 3, and to be in B as the worst LMG is actually a pretty good achievement, to be fair. It's not bad if you want to use it. You're going to have to definitely get used to this thing. Comparatively though, the M60, I love this thing. This gun is amazing. I've found a build that works for me. I don't know how I found it. It just randomly just made it and it works. I would honestly put this in S tier, to be honest. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put it in S tier. People are probably going to be like, what? How dare you put it in S tier? What the hell? No, I'm putting it in S tier. This thing's brilliant. I love it. So much fun. It's the best LMG by far. And then the RPK, I'm going to put that in A tier. It's basically just a mini AK. You put the same attachments on it on the AK and it's the same thing with more ammo, but it can't be better than the M60. It's definitely better than the 249. It's got to be an A tier. Now we're on to the marksman rifles. Now this is where it gets interesting because the MK20 SSR, I'm debating on whether it goes into S straight away. And if it does go into S, it goes straight to the top. 2-bullet kill from any range, 1 shot to the head. How is that fair? Like genuinely, how is that fair? It shoots quite fast as well. But people can also make a case to put it in boring meta. Very much overused, as well as the MP7 and the ACR. But I'm going to put it in the S tier, and it's going to be first by far. It was a lot of fun to use because it was so good. 2 bullets at any range is bonkers. No surprises that it's the best gun. Surprised it wasn't nerfed as well, to be honest. I think it needs maybe a little bit less range. It needs to be nerfed in some way. I don't know how. Damage, recoil, range. Do something to it because this thing is just unbeatable. The SVD, I will put it in A tier. It's nowhere near as strong as the SSR. It's nowhere near as strong, but it's still good. It's a 2 to 3 shot, 1 shot to the head. Some similar fire rate, a lot more recoil than the MK SSR as well, actually. A lot more recoil, but it's nowhere near as strong, and it's going in A tier, and I think it's probably going to go quite high up as well. I'd say I'll put it there for now. You can't really judge them like that because it's a completely different class. This is long range and this is mid range to short range. Now the snipers, my favorite class, made a montage. I use these guns all the time. I've got the M44 Prisma actually. It's my first gun Prisma. Ironically though, I don't like the M44. The damage on the M44 isn't brilliant. You're gonna have to aim for at least the chest and then maybe the head as well. It's a guaranteed 1 shot in the head, the chest. Sometimes it's a 1 shot, sometimes it's a 2 shot. It's just so weird. I don't like the consistency of this gun, really. I don't. Even though it's my first Prisma gun, I don't like it. I'm going to put it in B tier. Obviously, the snipers got nerfed as well, so it's just got to be here. If you're good at aiming with snipers, use the M44. It's so much quicker than TAC 50, but it's a lot less reliable in one-shotting. And that's not what you need when you're trying to use snipers and get clips. TAC 50 comparatively is amazing, actually. I didn't like this at first. When I used this to get to 200, I didn't actually like it. But it's grown on me a lot, actually. And the high damage is already just miles above the M44. It's a one-shot in most places. Slower, very slow, actually, compared to the M44. But that's a given. It's a lot bigger, it's a lot heavier. But that's good. That's good, because if you put some lightweight attachments on this, it actually feels really nice to use. I'd almost put it in S tier, but the sniper that I would put in S tier is the L115. It's a mid-range sniper. It's better than the M44. It's heavier than the M44. It's lighter than the TAC 50, but it does the similar sort of damage to the TAC 50 as well. I would actually put the L115 in S tier, and I'd probably put it around here by the MP90. I love this gun. It was so much fun to use. I love that it's in the game now. It came out in Season 1. You can't go wrong with the L115, really. It's probably the best sniper in the game, 100%. And I'd definitely put it in S tier. Okay, so now we're on to the boring secondaries. Now, these really are just secondaries. Unlike most shooters, you cannot use them as actual guns, most of them at least. So we're just going to go through them quickly. The 93R, 3 bursts pistol. It's all right. I'd say I'm going to put it in I'm going to put it in B tier. Damage is quite low, but it's a 3 burst, so if you get a few bursts off on someone, you're probably going to be able to kill them. But like I say, it's just a secondary. It's kind of mid, to be honest. It really is. D50, best pistol in the game, 100%. Going straight in A tier, no questions about it. High damage, good range, good iron sight. Put it with an extended mag. It's just the best pistol by far, and it's actually usable. It's one of the only usable pistols as a gun. M1911, terrible. Put it in C tier. No damage, no ammo, useless. Absolutely useless. M9 as well. Same problem as the M1911. No ammo, no damage, no range, useless. Now the Magnum. Oh my god, there needs to be another tier for this thing. It's useless, man. 6 bullets, no damage, no range. I was trying to use this for a clip. I don't have a clip for the Magnum. I don't have a clip for it. That's how bad it was. It's going straight into C tier. No questions asked. Pointless gun. Useless. Needs buffing 100%. That's the whole tier list done, I think. There's no guns I'm forgetting, are they? The sawn-off shotgun, I forgot about that. Also kind of mid as well. I'd put that in the B tier, though. It's a shotgun. It's a shorter double barrel, really. That's all it is. It's a little bit better, but it's not great. It's got no ammo. I'd put that into the B tier. And I'm pretty sure that is everything. That's all the guns in XDefiant as of now. I've heard that we're going to be putting some new guns in soon for updates of Season 1. That's exciting. We always love new guns. More content. Brilliant. So there you go. That's my opinion on all the guns in XDefiant. As you know, the rules were how I feel about them, and I'll take into account the strength of the gun as well. Hence why the M60 is in S tier and the M16 is in C tier. I know the M16 is good, but I hate it. I know the Vector's great, but I'm putting A tier. I know the RPK is probably not going to be an A tier gun, but I like it. The M60 is definitely not an S gun, but I like it. And then you've got the boring meta guns down here that just, they deserve nerfing. They really do. If you like this tier list video, please drop a like, smash that subscribe button. It would really be appreciated. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.